prove your love before the weekend is through.
It seems like someone wanted all of us here.
Hey guys, Sam here with HorrorMom.com, and I'm here to talk to you about a different type of horror movie today. I would definitely call this one an erotic horror slash thriller. And this is 2025's Bone Lake, which is now currently streaming on Netflix, so it's easy to find. And Bone Lake is just a really interesting type of film. And I had heard some information about it before I watched it, so I did know that it was going to have a lot of sexual content. So do not watch this with your children. It's not appropriate at all. This may be one that you're not going to feel comfortable watching it with some people. It's just one of those films. They definitely push the limits, but I think it makes it fun and kind of interesting because it is just so wild. I think it's shocking, kind of the way that Wild Things was shocking back in the day. Obviously, Wild Things is no longer shocking, but I do think that Bone Lake does have that kind of shocking kind of feel to it in a way where it's just pushing a lot of limits that don't always get pushed. It does make it entertaining, and I was curious as to where this was going to go. I do want to say though that even though it is a horror, there's not a lot of horror other than in the very beginning and the end. I do think they should have done something a little bit different there, and I will tell you about that before I wrap up. Basically, you have a couple, you have Sage and Diego, and they are out traveling. And they're going through a lot of changes in their life right now. He's going to quit his full-time job to be a writer. She's going to take on a different job to be financially responsible for both of them. So there's some stress there. There's some change going on. They have some sexual issues. There's some tension there. But at the same time, they are very close and they've been together a long time. And they show up to an Airbnb, which is actually, it's like a mansion. It is beautiful. It's remote. I love the setting of this film. And the same day that Sage and Diego show up to this mansion, another couple, Sin and Will, show up, and they also have reserved this huge mansion for the weekend. So you have two couples that both have reserved the house, but they can't reach the owners, and it's kind of like, what do you do? So they actually end up trying to be kind of chill and just say, okay, well, the house is huge, we'll all just stay together. And that's really where the movie kind of goes. There's certain uncomfortabilities that are happening between the two couples because you have one couple that's just very chill and very happy and don't seem to have any issues, and then you have Sage and Diego that kind of have some things going on. And in them all staying together, some trust issues get brought up, a lot of sexual tension, some uncomfortable situations happen, and eventually, obviously, something crazy happens, which I'm not going to tell you. And it is going to be wild where this film goes. Now, along with that, I will say that, like I said before, the horror part is really just in the beginning and in the end. But I think what they really should have done is maybe bring in another couple, have done something where there were a little bit more characters, and you could have chopped them up or done something scary or made them disappear. I don't know, anything to kind of make it a little bit scary halfway through. The end of the film, and even in the beginning, the gore, the horror parts, they are done superbly. I have to say that. It looks very realistic. It is a splatterfest. The gore is really, really well done. So it's worth the wait just to see how it all plays out. But I would have loved to have this movie do a little bit more horror aspects right slap in the middle. Just give us something to kind of tie us over until the end. Now with that, I will say it's not super original. It's not super unpredictable. I typically don't figure things out in films, but I was able to figure this one out. And so I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't have more of a shocking ending for myself. But everybody's different, what we pick up on. It's hard to say if everyone is picking up on that, or maybe everybody sees things differently. You might be surprised, I'm not really sure. But those are really just my two complaints about the film. I would have loved to have some more horror halfway through, and I just would have liked to have been a little bit more surprised when they finally reveal what's going on. That would have been awesome for me. Like I said, there's a lot of uncomfortable scenes in this film. This movie is filled with betrayal, manipulation, theft, deceit, seduction. A lot of those themes play out throughout it, and I just think it's kind of a different kind of horror that way, and that made it interesting for me. So overall, I am going to recommend this one as long as you are aware that there is a ton of sexual content. It is definitely an erotic thriller. If that doesn't seem like something you want to watch, then definitely take a pass. For a score, I am going to give it a 7 out of 10. It was definitely entertaining, and the curiosity definitely got the better of me. I had heard about this film and I was very curious, and I think that the ending and how everything goes was worth the wait, was worth the watch. If you do watch this movie, let me know in the comments what you think. I'd be very curious if you guys agree that maybe the movie needed some more horror in the middle of it, or if you think it was just perfectly fine the way that it was. So let me know in the comments. I would love to hear about that. Otherwise, check this one out, and I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Love is kind of like a game of chess.